Mick Napier, who's joining us now from Glasgow, explains in this exclusive. Mick, the story you're about to share here involves Alex Salmond, the former leader of the SNP. Please explain.
It's an astonishing story. The Board of Deputies of British Jews section in Scotland published a book, fairly harmless book, and then persuaded the First Minister to write a preface supporting the book. His lawyers looked through the book in great detail, as any head of government would have to do, and then he signed the supporting preface. Subsequent to that, the authors surreptitiously inserted material claiming that Scottish PSC was demonising Jews. This was duping the First Minister, who was furious at having been tricked into launching a book and supporting it, which contained material with which he strongly disagreed and of which he was unaware. So the dishonesty of Matthew Berlow in fabricating out of nothing anti-Semitic incidents, indeed creating them, really has got a long history in Scotland, and it goes back to this example from 2008, where they fabricated anti-Semitic behaviour by our campaign, and then they had to pulp all 6,000 copies of the book, which had been printed with a public subsidy. So it's an outrage. It's not a standalone scandal, by the way. There have been many other examples that I could allude to if time permitted, where the pro-Israel lobby in Scotland has not weaponised anti-Semitism. They have created anti-Semitic incidents, including a claim by the man who later hired Tony Blair to oppose anti-Semitism in Europe, billionaire Moshe Kantor, who claimed with no evidence whatsoever that Scotland was very similar to 1930s Nazi Germany in its intense anti-Semitism. Complete fantasy from beginning to end, evidence-free, but the difference is that it's now coming out into the open. And sadly, Jeremy Corbyn has gone down to defeat because he allowed himself to become a bit of a punchbag and did not fight back from the very beginning when these smears and deceptions were piled upon him.
And very briefly on this one, Mick, you alluded to the fact that there's a wider point here about discrediting the movement and discrediting those who choose to speak up for the plight of Palestinians.
Well, at one level, it's a matter of changing the subject. How can you, the pro-Israel group long ago gave up trying to defend Israel when an Israeli sniper boasted a few weeks ago that in one shift he had smashed the knees of 42 Palestinian men demonstrating for their human rights on the Gaza periphery. You can't defend that. So what they do is they claim that we are not driven by a thirst for justice for the Palestinians. We are driven by hatred of Jews. It's complete nonsense. We have some fantastic Jews in our ranks, and our hatred and anger is directed towards a system which privileges Jews over Muslims and Christians from the day they're born to the day they die. Our hostility is not to a people, it's to a system, and that system has to go.
Indeed. Mick Napier, solidarity. Thank you very much.